Good, happy Wednesday morning. It is Wednesday, August 24, 2022. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Wednesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, standoff ends in Tufton Borough. Suspect in custody. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell saying a federal abortion ban is possible.
Access to care here could be threatened. Don Bolduc, Chuck Morse, and Kevin Smith would all vote for a nationwide abortion ban. Don't let them make abortion illegal in New Hampshire.
Well, Steve, that deputy was not hurt, so some good news there. We actually just saw a cruiser being towed away from the scene as the road just opened now, several hours after this standoff began. Very few details are being released at this hour, but Canaan Road here, very quiet. It was a much different story earlier today. Residents of Canaan Road in Tufton Borough watching some intense moments playing out in their neighborhood.
It's scary. I don't like seeing it.
Sources tell WMUR that just before 11 o'clock Tuesday morning, the deputy attempted to stop a vehicle that had left the Carroll County Superior Courthouse. A man driving that vehicle then fired at the deputy on Canaan Road, according to sources. The deputy was not hurt. The suspect barricaded himself inside his home.
I see what you see right here, except 3 cop cars come out, 4 go back in, a couple come out, more go back in.
People who live here shocked to see this type of ordeal play out on their street, but they say they are relieved it all came to a peaceful end.
I think it's unreal. I mean, this is the quiet, nice neighborhood. I mean, people that live in Tufton don't even know where this is.
The suspect's name has not been released. It's also unclear as to what charges he may be facing. We are expecting an update from New Hampshire State Police within the hour. Of course, we'll bring those updates to you as soon as we get them. For now, reporting live here in Tufton Borough, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police give more details about shooting outside mall in Salem. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell saying a federal abortion ban is possible.
Access to care here could be threatened. Don Bolduc, Chuck Morse, and Kevin Smith would all vote for a nationwide abortion ban. Don't let them make abortion illegal in New Hampshire.
6 p.m. Monday night, people at the mall at Rockingham Park took for cover as they heard gunfire.
There was more than 2 people there. There was a number of witnesses that fled the scene, and really no one's cooperating with us.
In the upper deck of the parking lot, a single gunshot hit a 19-year-old man from Lowell twice.
They received a call from the urgent care on Stiles Road that a male subject had walked in with gunshot wounds to both arms, both in the wrist area and the hand area.
The victim's injuries serious, but non-life-threatening.
The victim was transported to Parkland Hospital, where he was treated for those injuries.
Right now, Salem police believe there was only one shooter that shot once at the victim, and they are somehow affiliated with each other.
We believe that he knew who the shooter was, that they were there for some specific purpose, but we don't know who the suspect is right now. We are following up on all leads.
Salem PD is still unsure if this issue is gang-related or not, and that this incident is rare, especially for Salem. Now, if you have any additional information for the investigation, you're asked to call the Salem Police Department. Here in Salem, Troy Lynch, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire DHHS plan for child care resources focused on long-term strength. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell saying a federal abortion ban is possible.
Access to care here could be threatened. Don Bolduc, Chuck Morse, and Kevin Smith would all vote for a nationwide abortion ban. Don't let them make abortion illegal in New Hampshire.
Discovery Child Enrichment Center in Portsmouth is a big operation. At full capacity, they are allowed to have 149 kids in daily with a full staff of 30. Right now, owner Shelley Vetter says they are short 6 full-time workers and 3 part-timers, and so they can only handle 75 kids per day.
It's a huge problem. It's basically controlling the center and how it runs, whether or not I have to close some of the classrooms down.
DHHS hopes to help. The Child Care Strengthening Plan offers scholarships and grants to businesses. They are working on recruitment and retention of the child care workforce.
We're working with businesses themselves, many of whom are interested in opening child care, which is kind of a cool idea. We are very interested in expanding the opportunities for childcare in people's homes and connecting them with regional networks.
The goal of the program is long-term stability for child care in New Hampshire.
And there are other jobs as well, including HR, bus driver, bookkeeper. So there's lots of choices.
We've received grants over the last couple of years, which has been fantastic. It's helped us stay open. But I don't know where the new system that they're talking about, how that's going to help me now.
Vetter says child care work does not pay well, and it's a very hard job, both of which lead us to the shortage of workers right now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Committee looks at the possibility of COG Railway Hotel near summit of Mount Washington. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell saying a federal abortion ban is possible.
Access to care here could be threatened. Don Bolduc, Chuck Morse, and Kevin Smith would all vote for a nationwide abortion ban. Don't let them make abortion illegal in New Hampshire.
Jamie, the COG Railroad wants to build Lizzie's Station. It would be an overnight stay location just south of the summit on property owned by the railway. The proposal is currently going through the development stages now. It needs to get signs off from a number of different agencies and organizations first. But it is being considered as part of the conversations in the Mount Washington Advisory Committee's master plan, planning the next 10 years for the summit of the mountain, which is becoming a bigger and bigger draw and more crowded each year.
It's a global destination. I think there was a week in June where 30 different countries were represented at the top of the mountain. So we need to plan for that capacity. We need to make sure our water systems can support that. And we need to have discussions about the environmental impacts of increased capacity and what that means to the mountain.
So if the COG Railway went ahead with the hotel plans as part of their agreement with the state, they would in turn give up the right they currently hold to expand their footprint further at the summit itself. In the studio, Steve Botari, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire couple travels to Ukraine for humanitarian efforts, meets family. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell saying a federal abortion ban is possible.
Access to care here could be threatened. Don Bolduc, Chuck Morse, and Kevin Smith would all vote for a nationwide abortion ban. Don't let them make abortion illegal in New Hampshire.
The war in Ukraine rages on as the Russian invasion of the country moves into its 6th month tomorrow on Ukraine's Independence Day. Christina Pasichnik-Vogel just returned from the country while on a mission to help those in need.
We were in the city streets every single day. Every once in a while, there would be an air raid siren that would go off. We looked in the streets and everybody just continued with their business.
She and her husband traveled from New Hampshire to Ukraine to visit orphanages on the west side of the country.
In one sentence, they will say, when this war is over, we want the world to see how beautiful this country is. And in the next sentence, they say, if we're alive tomorrow.
While on the trip to help others, they found the people in dire need helping them. Christina says she swapped stories with the people she met, talking about family, her grandfather, who was from a village in the area, and then
I shared that information with the people we were with. And this gentleman, his name is Ihor, just like my father. He said, I'm from that region. I think I can find your family. And he did.
Christina united with cousins, finding comfort in the midst of war, as Ukraine pushes through the rubble left in some cities, hoping freedom is one day on the other side.
They just keep hoping and praying Russia runs out of ammunition before they do.
Now, at one point, they helped a Ukrainian woman at the airport find her way to the United States. Now, keep in mind, Christina took this trip speaking very little Ukrainian and had to use an app to translate. Live in Manchester tonight, Marissa Tansino, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Americans warned to leave Ukraine due to threats of Russian attacks. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
So, you're at the age now where you may start feeling certain urges to buy things at full price. But thanks to Amazon's low-priced everyday essentials, you can practice safe spending. I'm glad we had this talk.
Tonight, President Zelensky issuing an urgent warning to Ukrainians that especially brutal strikes could be coming from Russia in the coming hours. They're now in the early morning hours in Ukraine. Their Independence Day has begun. And tonight, the U.S. State Department urging Americans to leave Ukraine, sharing declassified intelligence with Ukraine. Our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, back in Kyiv for us tonight.
Tonight, President Zelensky issuing an ominous new warning to his people, saying Russia may be planning, quote, hideous provocations and brutal strikes as Ukraine prepares to celebrate Independence Day. And tonight, the U.S. again urging Americans to leave Ukraine amid that threat of intensified Russian attacks. State Department sources saying declassified intelligence shared with the Ukrainians shows the Kremlin may be preparing to launch strikes on highly populated areas. Ukraine's banning large gatherings during the event. ABC's Britt Clennett asking President Zelensky about the threat.
What's your reason for urging people not to gather tomorrow? Is it because Kyiv is under threat?
Ми говоримо, що ці дні можуть бути провокативними з боку Російської Федерації.
Amid these concerns over what Russia may do next, the United Nations holding an emergency meeting on the volatile situation at Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Ukraine saying Russian strikes damaged infrastructure and transformers, briefly cutting off power at Europe's largest nuclear plant. The Ukrainians also claiming Russians are shelling the plant's nearby ash pits, where nuclear waste is stored, raising clouds of toxic radioactive dust, stoking ongoing fears of a potential nuclear disaster.
And so let's bring in Ian Pannell tonight reporting from Kyiv. And Ian, I want to get right back to the U.S. State Department again, urging Americans to leave Ukraine, saying it shared a declassified intelligence with Ukraine, suggesting that Russia might in fact be planning these strikes on Independence Day, which of course is in the hours ahead. President Zelensky, in your report there, obviously clearly very concerned about the real possibility of this.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Independence Day has just begun and this country is braced. But Zelensky also doubling down tonight. He's saying that they won't relent until they retake back parts of the country occupied by Russia, not just in the last 6 months, but for years, even Crimea. Forget any peace deal for now. This war looks set to drag on for a long time. David?
Ian Pannell in Kyiv for us. Ian, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Jury finds 2 men guilty in plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
With Canva, we design presentations together. Just pick a template. Nice. Now customize for amazing results. What will you design today? Start designing for free at canva.com.
In Michigan, a jury convicting 2 men of conspiring to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Here's ABC's Ike Kajaji.
Tonight, a key victory for the Justice Department in its fight against domestic terrorism. A jury finding 2 self-styled militiamen guilty of plotting to kidnap and kill Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer in 2020.
All of our elected officials, everyone, deserves to be able to live in safety and not in fear.
Adam Fox and Barry Croft convicted on all counts, including conspiring to obtain a weapon of mass destruction in the form of a bomb. The verdict coming 4 months after a different jury deadlocked on the charges against these 2 men, prompting prosecutors to file a motion to quickly retry the case. In October 2020, the FBI arrested Fox and Croft along with 4 other men as they allegedly tried to buy explosives with the goal of attacking Whitmer before Election Day. According to authorities, the plot was months in the making, driven in part by the Democratic governor's COVID-19 restrictions. The FBI infiltrating and wiretapping the group after one member turned informant, alarmed by the talk of killing police. At both trials, however, the defense arguing this was a case of entrapment and that the defendants were just big talkers.
My client is disappointed in the verdict. It's been a good fight.
But evidence submitted at trial showed Fox, the group's ringleader, conducting surveillance on Whitmer's vacation home and firing a stun gun. The men allegedly planning to blow up a nearby bridge to slow police response, then take Whitmer to a secret location in Wisconsin for a trial that would end in her execution.
David, Governor Whitmer releasing a statement saying today's verdicts prove that violence and threats have no place in our politics and that those who seek to divide us will be held accountable. Now, both Fox and Croft face life in prison, but their lawyers are considering an appeal. David?
All right, Ike Kajaji in Chicago. Ike, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, everyone, and goodbye.